Welcome to the Karma and JD podcast. Does not have an official name yet, but beware, spoilers are ahead. Once again, beware, spoilers are ahead. We're not necessarily talking about leaks, but a lot of this information we are speaking about is openly on YouTube. Go watch the first chapter of Mortal Kombat 1 before you watch this video. Thank you.
Alright chat, so me and JD were talking, as we do, completely off camera. We weren't expecting to record at this moment, but we started kind of cooking, right? Our pan started like sizzling, we started throwing some vegetables on there, throwing some seasonings. What was that seasoning you threw on there, JD? What was that?
It was a little bit of paprika, but then I had to throw a little bit of garlic powder on it just to give it an extra little kick, you know?
Yeah,
Nothing too major though.
Because we started cooking some really nice theories here. I just had a theory about Shao Kahn right now, because we were talking about who the main villain could be, and we were talking about Onaga, etc. So we don't know what this video is going to end up being titled or anything. I'm just going to start with the Shao Kahn theory, and we will build off from here. And whatever you guys end up seeing this video as is what the main topic ends up being. So my theory about Shao Kahn basically started with us talking about how the timeline always somehow finds itself to recreate past events. And I talked about how the recent intro with Liu Kang and Kung Lao has the great Kung Lao's victories are actually hidden to the public. The public does not know what the great Kung Lao actually did, essentially, at least that's what it seems. And I started talking about if he killed Onaga, whatever, blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter for the context of the situation. Where this led us to was Shao Kahn, of course, poisoned the Dragon King, the ruler of Outworld, at the time of his invasion. And that's how he, you know, stole Edenia, etc. That kind of began Shao Kahn's journey into being Shao Kahn. But in this timeline, it doesn't seem that that's the case, because Shao Kahn doesn't have the Kahn label. He isn't that powerful being that can merge realms. He just isn't that. He is a very popular general, though. And so my current theory right now, or something I was spitballing rather, was that General Shao, he's obsessed with his image. He has a huge level of fame in Outworld as a huge popular general, and he wants to maintain that. But on top of that, he had a very bad childhood. His father abused him, beat him badly, and treated him like shit until he could become the perfect warrior, essentially. And that does awfully sound a lot like something Onaga would do. And on top of how Shao actually looks in this game, it does seem likely that his dragon aspects of his character design can lead to something like Onaga. So with that said and done, we know in the original timeline, like I said, Shao Kahn actually killed Onaga with the poison, and that resulted in Onaga being resurrected later on from Onaga's tomb. But in this game, we know Onaga's tomb is an actual stage in the game, but we were trying to figure out, why does it exist? Why is the tomb there if Onaga hasn't died yet in this timeline, at least not that we know of? And then that's where we thought, okay, what if Shao Kahn, or General Shao, again I keep saying Shao Kahn, killed his father, Onaga, and that is what led to the timeline, you know, falling back into place. So Shao Kahn killed Onaga out of, you know, revenge against his father for the way he treated him, and then he hid it from Outworld, because again, he's a famous general, so he hid it completely, buried him in the tomb, and that's how it started, right? And from there, that's where JD's gonna get out the cayenne pepper and start cooking now.
Okay, yeah, let me go and jump up in there. You was already cooking, but you know, I gotta add my little extra seasonings or whatever or whatnot, you know. But okay, so boom, let's start back. I don't know why it always comes back to here. The conversation that Li Mei was having with Liu Kang stated that Shang Tsung had planted a seed, aka told Shao Kahn something, or told him something that made him feel like, okay, cool, like I can really take over, you know. So I don't know what he said. That's, you know, we're gonna have to play the story mode to find out. But what if not only did he tell him to commit treason and go against the royal family to take over Outworld, what if he also told him, let's say if his father is actually Onaga, what if Shang Tsung also told him to poison him, so that it would be the same way that it was in the old timeline, with him being specifically poisoned to be killed, so that not like when maybe Onaga was in this timeline was more like a neutral threat. Think about it like this, right? What is Onaga's main title?
The Dragon King?
He doesn't have to be ruler of Outworld to be called that.
That's true. He could still be the king of the dragon race.
Exactly. What if he's super big, has like how Countess Jade being a countess, you have a militia, you run certain territories, all type of stuff. What if being the Dragon King, he just controls like a huge part of like a huge, super huge area, has his own army, and was trying to like, what should I say, like build Shao Kahn up to be like replace him, but not even then. Okay, let's say Onaga is neutral / evil. What if he wanted Shao Kahn? The reason why he put him through that rigorous, what's the word I'm trying to say?
Vigorous and rigorous. Both sound like they work, but I don't even know. Anyway, just continue. We know what you mean.
Anyway, y'all know what I'm trying to say. What if that he put him through all of that training and abuse so that when he, like, let's say he knew that Shao Kahn was gonna, not Shao Kahn, but Shao was gonna poison him or kill him or whatever, and he's trying to build Shao up so that he could be the new vessel for Onaga.
That is a crazy theory. On top of Shang Tsung pulling the strings and he's doing all this stuff, planting the seeds, and he actually convinced Shao to commit treason against Outworld. So, this is completely separate. Okay, go for it. Glad you just said that.
Think about how it will all come full circle. Shang Tsung planted the seed telling Shao, Kronika's already revealed, at least her body. So let's say it may not even be Kronika. It could be, we don't know. She could be the 24th character. I don't know at this point. I'm pretty content with how the game's looking so far. I'm just hoping the story mode kind of carries. So I'm not even too much tripping on it at this point. Her design does look a lot better than MK11.
Oh, she's so much more appealing now. She looks she actually looks cool.
So let's say Shang Tsung is pulling strings, but as we already can tell, somebody is pulling the strings on Shang Tsung, who so far, from what we see, appears to be who? Kronika. But what if, hear me out, JD hot take coming in hot. What if Kronika is basically Damashi and Onaga is using her vessel to use Shang Tsung to do all of this undoing of the timeline?
Okay. I see where you're coming from, but since it is a new timeline, I wonder why Onaga would even need to use Kronika as a vessel. Because, like, he wouldn't know Kronika even existed. Like, or
I mean, at this point, this just gives Dominic another excuse to bring the character back. I'm sure Dominic loved his idea, right? Like, I'm thinking for the betterment of Mortal Kombat, but at the same time, I have to think realistic with how NRS, specifically Dominic Cianciolo, is, right? I'm sure he thought Kronika was the best idea ever. Kronika and Cetrion. I'm sure he thought this was like the best idea ever. But look how it turned out. It wrote them into a corner. Once again, realize that in the beginning of this game, that was the prologue. That wasn't the prologue. That was like the first chapter. But like the intro where Shang Tsung shit happened. In every Mortal Kombat game, they showed the previous villain in the beginning of the story mode.
That's true.
They've done this since,
and then they get neutralized, basically.
Exactly. Then they get neutralized, or they're not the main threat.
True. That's very true.
Not the main threat.
Yeah.
Like that'd be too much of a dead giveaway. Why would all of this be happening just to have Kronika as the main villain once again? Like they be taking 5 steps forward, but 10 back.
Okay, I agree.
I'm sure NRS realizes that we hate Kronika. I know they realize. They see every other little thing. I'm sure they've seen that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ed Boon even openly said that he wants to get away from time travel. So let's say this game is like a bridgeway to get rid of that. Like, okay, let's say it is Kronika, and she's being used to, yada yada, bring back her new era or whatever the case may be. I just feel like I'm just speaking from the outside looking in. I don't work for NRS or anything like that, but for the betterment of Mortal Kombat and to also be realistic, that could merge both together as far as the old timeline and this timeline, and you get the best of both worlds. Damashi still ends up being a thing, but it's not necessarily Damashi, it's Kronika. She's still being utilized as a puppet for Onaga, and you see what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense, but it's just at the same time, it's NRS, it's Dominic. We don't know exactly how this could go, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't be mad if that's how it played out.
Yeah,
because I feel that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, Onaga is going to pop up. Whether it's an end credit scene, whether he ends up being the final boss, it's like NRS would miss out on the biggest payout ever. Like, you know how many people want Onaga back?
Yeah, the biggest cash cow they ever could have is him, for sure. The 3D era fans want him back, yeah, extremely.
Exactly,
you know what I
like
mean?
you bring back all of these characters, but don't bring back the main villain of the entire 3D era, except for, I guess you could say, Armageddon.
Yeah, but they are not bringing Blaze back over Onaga. I mean, it's Dominic.
Man,
I wouldn't be surprised,
no.
but I love that theory though, and the way that you're laying it out does make it so that it can all fall into place like perfectly, and I do see that. But I think, unless you want to continue on with that theory, and then I can start going with my curveball, I guess. But I think that I've actually sprouted a new theory from your theory.
Throw any curveball, and I'll just do my best attempt to catch it and throw it
back. Okay, bet. Because so all the way back to the beginning of your theory, I actually thought of something different, but using your same template, which is with hold on, let me let this card go by.
It always happens, you know.
Yeah,
it's just the reality.
What a lovely card. I mean, they're fans. They're fans. You know what I mean? Like the loudest fans we have for sure. All the way since the beginning of this conversation, where you said that with Shang Tsung potentially pulling the strings to make Shao Kahn commit treason against Outworld and the royal family, that's because you kind of started on it, but then you shifted to what is a much more realistic story with Kronika and stuff, which does make a lot more sense, I think. But with in
I'm just trying to mix the good with the bad at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You have to accept it, of course. And in terms of the old timeline stuff and how that all works with it repeating itself and Shao Kahn killing Onaga once again, even though in this timeline it's probably his father. I think that Shang Tsung, let's say that this is the real Kronika. This is assuming that instead of your theory where it's not and it's just a vessel, I think that what if this is the real Kronika? And she's a constant like Garrus. If she
Which would also make sense.
It would. It would be weird that they didn't tell us, but it would be a good layup for them to make it work, though. It would be a good way for them to actually make it right well, I guess. But it is still kind of weird because we weren't told that before. But anyway, I think that maybe Kronika teaches Shang Tsung everything about all the previous timelines, basically makes Shang Tsung have endless knowledge like he did at the end of Aftermath, right? And I think that that's very possible. So when you take that into account, he also knows about the old Shao Kahn. He also knows about how Onaga died, etc., etc. So when he starts whispering in Shao's ear, telling him like, bro, you have to kill Onaga, because if you kill Onaga, these events will start to transpire, and it will build the previous timeline. He's telling him, you were royalty in the previous timeline, you had so much power, you were horrific, you were the ruler of everything in your realm in the previous timeline, and Shao is tempted, he's allured by this, and he will do anything Shang Tsung tells him to do. So he kills his father, he betrays Sindel, he wants to kill Malinik, all these things, because Shang Tsung is promising him that he can bring back the original Shao Kahn through him. And Kronika told Shang Tsung all of these things, right? And these are ways that the original timeline will start to shining through, because Shang Tsung is making these events transpire once again. And I think that Damashi is still going to exist, but I think that it's actually going to exist as Kronika. Like, Kronika is going to be the one giving Shang Tsung Damashi through her, not through Onaga. But Onaga will still be resurrected in these terms of events, probably after the game's ending. With the whole timeline thing, though, I think that is still very true, that they're going to use this game because they know we hate Kronika. If Ed knows that we want Jade back, then he has to know we hate Kronika. You know what I mean? Like, he knows that we hate Kronika.
Yeah, he knows, bro.
So them bringing her back, and we've talked about this several times before, even off camera, that I think that this is going to be the perfect opportunity for them to bring her back and put her to rest entirely forever, alongside the Hourglass, alongside time travel, and all the timelines will be one concurrent timeline, and then that's going to lead to the perfect opportunity for Onaga to be resurrected and become the biggest threat we've ever had, because there's no escaping him. There's no time travel.
Yeah,
there's no new
timeline. Okay,
there's
that
nothing.
makes sense.
But I really think, though, that I love what you were saying, and I also think that
yours definitely sounds more plausible.
But I don't know, because I think mine sounds better written, and that doesn't necessarily work well with NRS sometimes. So it depends, right?
Yeah, they don't know what good writing is.
Yeah, they do have some bangers.
They don't know what
they do have some bangers, but it's not consistent.
Yeah, the continuity is just nowhere to be found.
we both have the same template and the same puzzle pieces to work with, but it ends up creating a different picture.
At some point anyway.
Exactly. So if these old timeline events are going to shine through regardless, it's just, is Kronika going to be the reason that happens? Is Shang Tsung going to be the reason? Is Onaga going to be the reason? We will see.
Okay, at the end of the day, like I'm not opposed to either or. If this game is going to be the one to use to get rid of Kronika, then so be it. Like, I wouldn't mind her being playable for once and have like an actual moveset we can play without it being super busted, but you know.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of people enjoy her more, is being able to play her, and especially if she's actually like a good or fun character. I think that people will just start to enjoy her more.
Yeah, if she's anything close to like a more lightweight version of Garrus, then yeah, she's gonna be overpowered.
Oh, that's actually true, because Garrus has so many really fun time gimmicks, so Kronika would have that on like steroids, right? So I think that that would be a cool take that they could do. But even I think that is tying that back to Kronika, right? Like the hourglass, if it is tied to Garrus, which we know it is, if it is also tied to Kronika in the same vein, then destroying the hourglass is the perfect way to get rid of her. But my thing with both of our theories, the one thing that's like a very big leak in this situation that we don't know how to patch up, is why would Shang Tsung want to make things back how they were? Kronika is probably promising him that he can become a Titan like he was at the end of Aftermath, sure, but why would he need to bring Onaga back for that? That would be his competition.
Look, this is why I feel that mine kind of, I'm not gonna say makes more sense. What is the catch? What is Kronika getting from this? What is this doing for her? Like, are you just gonna be the all-powerful one and Shang Tsung can be your lackey and all? That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
Shang Tsung wouldn't go for that.
And Kronika isn't stupid.
Shang Tsung would not go for that.
So Kronika doesn't want to get revenge on Liu Kang.
Shang Tsung is also the furthest thing from stupid.
Yeah, like they wouldn't do this out of revenge against Liu Kang, especially because Shang Tsung doesn't have a gripe against Liu Kang.
Nah,
Kronika said that
it would be out of revenge, because Kronika, at least towards Liu Kang for Shang Tsung, because Kronika revealed that she said forces that have conspired against him since before his birth, which we know means Liu Kang.
And I said that in my reaction, which a lot of people didn't enjoy. A lot of people were mad at me about that. But
I mean, okay,
yeah,
like,
but even with
you
that,
were kind of you were sympathizing. I see what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I couldn't have sympathy for it, because you got to realize, look at the countless number of things Shang Tsung has done in every timeline.
Yeah, no, that's true, but
like, that's like being sorry for him. Like, it's like what am I trying to say? It's a saying. It's a necessary sacrifice for salvation.
Okay, but do you think that Melina should be punished for her previous lives as well?
You got to realize, who created Melina?
Yeah, Melina, you actually got me with that one. You got me with that one. I got caught with my pants down. Holy shit.
There's a lot that wouldn't be happening if it weren't for Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I get that, but I still think that if Liu Kang's real,
that's like again, going to war.
We are
like, as a president.
Yeah. We are making assumptions, though.
Kill these people.
We don't even know if Liu Kang actually. Well, no, because that's what people were yelling at me about in the comments, is that I'm making so many assumptions that this is Liu Kang's fault and stuff like that. So we both are assuming that it is his fault, and like I'm defending Shang Tsung, but you're defending Liu Kang type shit. But even like regardless,
I'm not necessarily defending anything. I say I'm more neutral on, because Liu Kang's my favorite character, but I don't give a damn. Right is right, wrong is wrong. But at the same time, like, this man is a snake oil salesman, which is pretty much what he was anyway, but he had
on a much larger scale. Yeah, exactly.
But I think so. It's like, you're risking all of these souls being taken and built up, because, like, okay, let's say this really is Kronika. It's obvious why she'd be going and trying to get Shang Tsung, right? Because Shang Tsung is the one that made the damn crown. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
So let's say she wants to make a new crown. Like, let's say Liu Kang destroyed her crown after he reshaped the timeline, so that's why shit's kind of going wrong, or whatever. I don't know, but Shang Tsung is definitely going to be the first person she goes up to, if not Garrus. Like, Garrus and her probably already have had conversations or whatever, but it's like, how is she there? Like, I mean, I'm sure she has some form of powers without like the full hourglass. I'm sure she's weaker, but it's like, it's confirmed that Shang Tsung is Shang Tsung's design. Like, you feel me? That just, it makes sense why she walk up to Liu Kang. And I'm like, at this point, maybe Kronika's just like, I don't even care. Liu Kang just has to die. This haul wouldn't have happened if it weren't for him. That's why she took him in MK11 at like during the middle of the story.
Yeah, that's actually true.
What would happen.
That is true.
he's definitely not right, but it's like a necessary sacrifice for salvation. Like, look what all of the bad shit this man has done. Like, I fuck with Shang Tsung. Don't get me wrong. He's my favorite sorcerer out of Quan Chi and Shang. I mean, I think I kind of like him equally, honestly. But I love both of them. But it's like, that's just what comes with it. Like, look how many people this man killed, mainline characters included.
Yeah, and I know people are gonna always hold that against my take, but my take isn't even necessarily that Shang Tsung specifically is innocent or anything. That isn't my take at all. Like, really, because my take is just that if Liu Kang was really this righteous hero, which he probably looks at himself as, or he's been claimed to be.
I mean, well, okay? Never mind. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, you're fine. I think that with that, right, with that in mind, with Liu Kang's whole motto since the day this game has been shown to us, is that everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice, and I get that. And I think that is the thing that Liu Kang should be building his entire foundation as the fire god off of. So, if he chooses to give, even if this was a villain in a past life, which doesn't even matter, because again, Melina now is good. Any character that has Baraka, even, like any character that has had a bad past, Liu Kang is making them have a good life. We don't even know if that's Liu Kang's, like, he's doing it, because we know that at least partial of people's destiny is tied to the hourglass. Like, he only chooses the spawn point for their lives, and he doesn't choose what actually happens to them. Because in the intro of the game, which also got revealed, we know that Liu Kang said, like, I built the template, now the mortals have the power to do what they need to do. And he even said that in the end of MK11 when he was talking to Katana, where he said, it's up to mortals to decide how they live their lives. I can give them the tools, but they have to utilize it. If that is true, if Liu Kang does have the power to spawn them, but he doesn't have the power to control their lives, because if he had that power, then nobody would be evil, right? So he still chose to not only spawn Shang Tsung in the worst of the two realms, in my opinion, because Earthrealm was always the better place for normal human beings, and he spawned Shang Tsung in Outworld over China. In Earthrealm, he spawned him in Outworld, which is already significantly worse. Spawned him in the poorest place. I feel like he
did specifically that because, I mean, yeah, we know that according to the old timeline, Shang Tsung was originally from Earthrealm, but then aligned himself with Outworld. Like how Aaron Black says he's from Earthrealm, but his employer's from Outworld, so he's from Outworld. I feel like it's the same thing. Like, Liu Kang dropped him. I mean, like, you were always in Outworld, working for Outworld anyway. You might as well be there.
Okay, I do get that, but if he really wanted Shang Tsung to have a chance of being good, shouldn't he have just dropped him back in Earthrealm? I don't feel that
being dropped in Outworld just necessarily means you're gonna instantly be evil. Like, look at Li Mei. Like, there are a lot of Outworld characters that aren't necessarily evil. Like,
very true, especially since we know that Liu Kang essentially merged Earthrealm, or I mean Edenia and Outworld.
Because so the way Outworld is looking is like it's just Earthrealm, but with more tragic shit around.
There is still definitely a bad part of Outworld where people are poor and don't have a good life like Outworld, or Edenia rather, because there is like an Edenian part of Outworld now, we know that. There is also bad parts, like the part where Shang Tsung is from. There's bad parts like the place where Reptile had Kung Lao and Johnny Cage, like underground. Even if it is the flesh pits, it proves though that there are bad things going on at the same time as the good things like Edenia. And I think that we just haven't seen that part yet. But my whole point anyway with this, before I get way off topic, is that if your creator is purposefully dealing you bad hands at the start of your life before you're even born, I think that's incorrect. I do think that is wrong.
Okay. Take this into consideration, right? What if that's not even the case for real?
Yeah, exactly, because we're both assuming that. Yeah, we're both assuming that, because it might not even be true. Liu Kang might have not had any choice, and this is part of the destiny from the hourglass.
Shang Tsung could have been a regular, like, he could have been a great salesman. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to scam people.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so it's like he's already doing wrong anyway by his, like he's choosing to do this shit. Even though it's kind of clear that he tells Chronica that, like, and he doesn't necessarily say he doesn't want to do it, but he has to. But he makes it clear, like, I'm barely making a living. You think I want to be doing this?
Yeah, see, that's where a lot of people commented about that too. So I'm really glad you brought that up, because it's like, I think there's two ways of looking at this. If you assume that Liu Kang did purposefully put him in the poorest part of Outworld and make him have that bad spawn point, and essentially quote unquote cursed him before he was born, if he actually did do that, then you can't blame Shang Tsung for scamming people because he had to live with what he had. If he was given a bad life at birth, he has to deal with his tools. And so because he's a very witty person, he's always been a very smart person, he used that to his advantage to scam people so he could have success, because he basically at this point is like a rose growing through concrete. You know what I mean? He's living in a bad place, but he's doing his best. But if we are wrong and Liu Kang didn't decide this, then you are correct. Shang Tsung is at fault 100%. He has no excuses because Liu Kang gave him a completely like random spawn point. So like, hey, I'm gonna let Shang Tsung live. I'm not gonna condemn him or anything.
Exactly.
Here you go.
Like,
if that's what happened, then yeah, Shang Tsung is in the wrong because he's still repeating his bad actions.
Because realize in the Garrus trailer, he said that Liu Kang neutralized certain malefactors to ensure whatever, yada yada, so on and so forth. I feel let's be real. What we were all originally thinking was that they just weren't gonna show up. Like they were gonna be dead, like off rip. Like Liu Kang is gonna spawn them and kill them. That's at least me. That's what I was thinking.
We kind of thought that from the beginning of the reveal trailer, because like when Liu Kang said like you've messed with the god, and he just completely stomped the absolute shit out of Shang Tsung. Like we probably were under the impression that Liu Kang is not messing around. Yeah, he's gonna cleanse this world. And that's why we probably thought back then.
That doesn't seem to be what it is, because when
Behind
had questioned him in the intro dialogue, and he was like, you can't rule Earthrealm, like I think he said you don't rule Earthrealm," and Liu Kang was like, "Nor have I ever like attempted," or something like that.
Because the mortals dictate how it goes. Exactly. Like he can give us the tools, he can protect us, but he can't dictate Earthrealm in its entirety. He can't. You know what I mean? Is that what you're trying to get at? I'm not.
Yeah, basically.
So like even if he has people who are his ops, like Sub-Zero in this case, he's still like, yeah, you're right. You know, I'm not gonna do anything against you. Like I'm not conspiring against you. Do your own thing, dude. Like it's fine. You know what I mean? So even if somebody does actually oppose Liu Kang, he's still going to let them live their life, even if they are bad. Because like look at Shao Kahn or General Shao. He opposes Liu Kang for sure, but he still lets him live. I think that
they're
the reveal
literally
trailer,
sitting in front of each other having a conversation before the tournament keeps going.
Like that aspect of it, if you look at it that way, that Liu Kang didn't decide, which I should have probably prefaced that when I was talking about that back then, that there's also the possibility that Liu Kang didn't do this. If that's the case, that seems like a lot more of a Liu Kang thing to me. That he lets like the natural order of things go. So I think that Liu Kang he wouldn't be the type of person to control their lives. I think that the reveal trailer, the initial reveal trailer, gave us the wrong impression of Liu Kang by making him kill. They did it on
purpose. I feel. Just making you realize like you think Liu Kang's all cool, and then he drops Shang Tsung in a heartbeat.
But kills him in the most brutal way we've ever seen. Like they did it on purpose to make us have like
him in a bad picture to make it look like Liu Kang just did all of this horrible stuff when in reality, Liu Kang is trying his best to make the timeline as peaceful as possible. Like basically, like I made you a regular person. I didn't give you your bad sorcerer power because I didn't want you to kill people. Like that's all. I could have killed you. You could not exist, but I didn't do it like that. I gave you the chance to live in peace, but you chose to do all of this bad shit. So now I got to put the pause on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping happened. I am hoping that I am wrong and that Liu Kang didn't directly conspire against him since his birth, because that would be kind of shitty. And that's what Kronika was trying to feed Shang Tsung.
I think Kronika's just trying to. I think he's just feeding him lies. Well, she's just feeding him lies. But once again, that goes right back. It's like it's a slippery slope because neither one of us, we're not wrong until something's confirmed. But it all but we both could be making a lot of sense.
Yeah, we both have the right ideas. We might just not have the right execution with what we're saying. We're gonna find out.
Like we're going off
the tools that they gave
intro dialogues, and it's not much for real.
But I think that we did kind of cook here, though. I think that this is a good conversation. We even had a disagreement, and we were able to find both ways out of it. So that was good.
Exactly. So.
I think that this is the conversations that I think the community needs to have, because it's so easily.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section. Do y'all feel that Kronika is just Kronika and back, or do y'all feel that Kronika is a vessel for Onaga to be brought back, just doing his bidding?
Yeah, exactly. Let us know your thoughts on like what we talked about. Like what aspects of both of our timelines that we made, what do you think that is actually true? What do you think is incorrect? Because we all have the same information to work off of, just a matter of how we put those puzzle pieces together that makes our theories different, right? So exactly. I appreciate you for coming on as always, man.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate you once again, and I appreciate everyone for watching this. Thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast me and JD cooked up. You know, it's so like on the low kind of in a way, because we don't even have a name for it, but you guys always support it, so we're very grateful.
Exactly, that's all that matters. And yeah, we just doing this for fun, and it's like y'all are making it pop off. Like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, thank you guys so much as always, and make sure you guys stay safe and stay hydrated, and I will see you all in the next one. Go ahead and end it off, JD. Go ahead.
I'm gonna remix it this time. So
we're doing the remix.
This is the JD outro.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
So y'all stay safe. You know, keep playing Mortal Kombat, man. Get excited, because we're not that far away. You know what I'm saying? Stay hydrated. Make sure you eat some food, because I know we've all been fiending for Mortal Kombat, but it's on the way. We just got to give it some time. You know. Not to mention, I forgot to say this. I apologize. Got to pause the outro for a second, but let us know in the comments what y'all want us to talk about. Like, what do y'all, if y'all have any interesting plot lines that y'all feel are pretty cool and are worth an episode, like you could listen in on it, and you know, just let us know, because we're open to any ideas. We love the community.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Some of y'all be tripping out sometimes, but
yeah,
it's okay.
some people be out of pocket. Exactly, but I mean, we tolerate it. We're glad we can build our own place where like, it's accepted to talk about it. Yeah,
who would have thought this would happen? Like, me and Karma haven't even known each other for that long, but we're like the best of friends now. We talk like all the time. Like,
go ahead and show me the ingredients. What are you working with?
All right, so look guys, thank you all for tapping into this episode. We hope you all come back, you know, stay safe, stay hydrated. We love you all, and peace out. Got me sleepy like I popped the Zan, yeah. Conversation, we fell out, now I won't double back. Might swipe for 20 racks, cash out on both, so I can double that. Claiming you was up 100K, so how you fumble that? First you gon' say it's beef, then want a verse. LeBron, I'm done with that. Track off supercharged, wide body when we lane switch.